Hello, I am Alexios of Earth, and welcome to Astronaut. I will also warn you all, this game has scenes of body horror. Just viewer discretion is advised. Anyway, I don't know nothing about this game. I download this game. I have no idea what's about. All I know, it's a visual novel, I think. Vessel, Bidari 221, designation, mechanic, input, crewman, identification. Let's go with Mason. The moment my eyes flicked open, I instantly knew something was wrong. Bright red lights flooded the ambience within my private quarters, leaving everything looking blood-soaked and gruesome. For a second, there was a pulse of fear in my chest before it faded, my logic stifling my instincts, telling me it was too soon to panic. Despite how the crimson hue singled danger all over me, it was better to keep my head on straight. A hand reaches up to scratch an uncomfortable itch on my collar, only to find my arm was caught underneath my toppled desk. Luckily, my suit cushioned most of the impact, leaving a dull ache and nothing more. Grunting with effort, I kicked off the offending furniture and sat up to assess everything, fixing my visor over my eyes. I cast a quick glance over my room. Some furniture toppled on their sides, and my usually neat shelf of books and trinkets chaotic and disorganized. Did the ship crash into something while I was asleep? Usually there was a piercing alarm accompanying the emergency lights, but oddly, it's gone quiet. Either I slept through it somehow, or somehow something else happened for it to malfunction. As a person in charge of repairs and maintenance, that didn't bode well to me in the slightest. Just the sheer volume of that siren would have woken me up. Sigh? I called out to the room, expecting a maltruni, if a low stoic voice to respond back. Delayed responses to the ship's AI weren't common, but they could still happen. As a spacecraft shipping nothing but Earthian pet supplies across the galaxy, we weren't really thinking with the most advanced tech here. Not to mention the budget cuts. I sighed, already feeling a migraine forming in the back of my head. Sigh? Can you respond, please? Still nothing. I clicked my tongue. That's not a good start. I inhaled deeply and stood up to exit my room, my boots clunking down the hall. The only accompaniment I had as I made my way to the main console. Along the way, I didn't see any signs of disturbance, not like the one in my room at least. I scratched at my arm, giving a lookout for any trouble. Everything seems to be business as usual. Other than the emergency lights, that is. A nagging thought crept into my head. While I wanted to take the current situation seriously, I couldn't help feeling skeptical. Was it another one of their pranks again? It's been a few months of me working for this company. I was expecting the hazing phase to die out any day now. Or at least, I hoped it would eventually. There's only so many ways one can keep themselves entertained on a shipping vessel months into a trip, I suppose. I just hated the fact that I was one of those ways. Regardless, whatever's happening is worth investigating. Awful coworkers or not. I can only hope that I get out of this one without any lasting trouble. Reaching the main console of the ship, I frowned at the absence of my crewmates. It was getting a little ridiculous how quiet the space was other than the ambient humming and occasional blips from the console. At first, I didn't want to feel offended the fact nobody came to fetch me if it was possible emergency, but the grating silence only formed a pit in my stomach. Captain? Anyone? Is this another disappearing bit? Because it isn't funny the last two times either. Lights are a nice touch, though. No stifled chorts. No snarky quips. Bristling from the quiet, I called out again. Come on, guys. I'd rather you insult me rather than leave me in the dark like this. Nothing? I sighed and shuffled over to the main panel. Pulling the level down to disable the emergency lights, the dark, gory tint of the room fades away into a usual sterile white. Glad to see that's working fine. Standing there, I expected someone to at least reveal themselves already. It's like a game of chicken to see if I'll break down first. I folded my arms, standing awkwardly in the center of the room. Nothing but absolute stifling silence. Guys? With every passing second, a heavy sense of trumpetation grew. Sorry, I'm not good with English, guys. I swallowed down the inevitability I had to accept, that it wasn't a practical joke after all. Shuffling to the console hurriedly, I checked the rest of the systems. Artificial gravity, navigation, communications. My brow was furrowed as I squinted down at all the panels. It's like everything was reset. Perked up as I caught sight of the reboot logo of the ship, thumbing back and forth on one of the streams. SIAP must be restarting. I waited impatiently for a familiar dinky chime to ring through the speakers. Sai? Hello? The low droning... Hello? The low droning voice was littered with more static than usual. I was just glad to hear someone talk back. Oh, thank God. Is everything alright? You don't sound too good. The current state.
The current state of my systems are suboptimal. Several of my primary functions are disabled or inoperable.
I'm not doing that. I recommend immediately repairs. I'm not good at that. Alright. I'll get around that once I figure out what the fuck's going on. I fidgeted with my tubos. I thought something simple to ask. Where's everyone else? One crewmate accounted for. Just one? That was concerning. There were supposed to be 5 of us. Can you, scan for everyone else? Negative. What? Why? As I mentioned, I'm in dire need of repairs. My biometric scanners are inoperable. My tracking systems are inoperable. My surveillance network is operable. Okay, I get it. Got it. What could possibly cause so much damage in my sleep? What happened to the ship? There was a short pause before Sai was able to respond. Significant impact was detected against rear exterior of the ship. My brows raised. We hit something? Affirmative. I grimaced, my worst fear coming true. I was really hoping that wasn't the case. And how long ago? Approximately 24 minutes ago. I was passed out on the floor the entire time. This might be more serious than I thought. Okay, that answers that. How bad is it? Unknown. Manual assessment required. I gulped, my breath stifling for a second. The thought of having to leave the safety of the ship and crawl along the outside tethered by nothing but a flimsy cable to inflict damage who knows what? I leaned forward as a nervous laugh spilled from my teeth, hands gripping the edge of the console to said to myself, I'll get to it later. External suits are... I said I'll get to it later, man! I do not recommend postponing the repairs. It is affecting my performance significantly. I'm not postponing, I'm just building up to it. I really insisted you just shut up. Shut the fuck up. Very well. Deep down, I knew it was foolish to disregard Sai's advice. I knew I was the mechanic, for God's sake. Fixing things was the entire point of being hired on this crew. I didn't need a semi-advanced AI to tell me that. I turned my attention back to the console. My eyes were glued to the big red button at the edge. My hand twitching with the urge to press it. Maybe I was too soon to panic, but with everything going on, I was stumped on what to do. I held back, clenching my hand into a fist when I hear my glove squeak. If I pressed that button and made a fool of myself, not a single person will let me live it down. Dread forming on my throat, I dragged my boots across the floor, ignoring the tremors in my hands as I prepared to head to the loading bay. Pausing at the door, I threw out one last question to the air. We're not in immediate danger, are we? Sai? Are we in danger? Error. I pinched my brows, gathering whatever courage I had. Astrophobic be damned, I had to do my job. Traversing down the halls, I kept an eye out for any signs of my crewmates. While repairing the... Fuck that. Vidade. I think I said earlier, but I can't As the main priority at the moment, it didn't hurt to see if I could find any other absent colleagues. Plus, I haven't really thrilled the idea of leaving this shit without someone watching my back. Maybe I was still holding out hope that I was still. This is also some kind of sick joke. Maybe they just upped the game with their pranks though, seeing as they haven't gotten a decent reaction on me in a while. They couldn't have possibly abandoned me, right? Just as my thoughts are about to spill into negative territory, I heard faint footfalls from down the hall. My head whipped to the side, just in time for me to catch a glimpse of one of my crewmates don one of the external suits. Were they from the loading bay? The helmet shone again against the bright light, but scaring the wearer inside as they darted out of sight. My hope rekindled, I quickly pursued them down the hall. Hey! I turned the horn just to see they're back in time. Hey, wait up! They instantly stopped, spinning on their heel and staring back at me with a rigid spine. I couldn't see their eyes from behind the darkening glass, but I could feel the weight of that gaze. I looked down the name tag of the suit, but it seemed to have been ripped off. Whoever it was, I didn't care. I'm so glad I finally found someone. I was this close to thinking. I hesitated, biting down my tongue. I shouldn't have shown this person I was freaking out. Absolutely not. I can't show that. Anyway, where's everyone else? Do you know where they are? They stood completely still, seeming to tremble slightly. Guama. Their voice came out muffled. What? Hold on, let me just reach over to flick the mic on their helmet. They paused for a moment before speaking once more, their hesitant voice ringing through. Luna? That's better. They seemed to vibrate with excitement. Ah, delight! Amazing to see you! Amazing to... I looked over their frame, trying to pinpoint their height to look for indicators that I knew who this was. Whoever it was, they were pretty short. Is that you, Marcus? They bristled as if offended. The doctor? Ew. Doctor, ew. He's smelly like the meteor slugs and star debris. Okay. Is that you, Kira? They scoffed. The nosy cook. She's too smelly too. Oh. Who could this possibly be? Based on their attitude, so far it doesn't seem like anyone I recognized. I clawed my brain for another hint. I'm pretty sure that's not you, Ben. It made indignant noise. I am none of your friends. None of my... Ew. Are you, you that new recruit we got a few days ago? What a terrible time for introductions. I'm definitely heard in passing between gossip management and it's another crewmate for a small crew. They're usually considered an extra set of hands on the ship. Something about training on the job. I felt bad. They're probably being paid pennies for a position that wasn't even permanent. Not to mention ending up in a busted ship days after arriving. Normally in 2 months they'll be dropped off the next depot and we'll be picking up a new stranger in their place. At least if things went well and the ship doesn't explode. I hide the guilt to my eyes behind a smile. In that case, I don't think we've met. I'm usually so busy running around the ship, doing other people's errands. Anyways, I am Mason. I held up my hand. And you are... They freeze up again, staring at my hand as if I was going to grow teeth and start snapping at them. Foreshadowing. Luna, you will shake my hand? Their hand darted out to grip mine tightly, squeezing so hard I let out an involuntary yelp. Hey, watch the grip! They quickly raised my hand, recoiling. Mistake. Sorry, I mean to say Mason. I don't like this person. I did not mean to meet you so soon. I was still in the middle of cleaning. Cleaning? I raised a brow. Since when did we start hiring janitors? They gave a terse, awkward laugh like a tittering of a bird call. Not the kind of cleaning I talk about, but yes. Okay, for the life of me, I couldn't pinpoint what accent I spoke. As you can tell, I'm trying to put an accent to this character, but I can't. I'm sorry, what's your name again? They stilled. I did not. They looked around before pointing at my tool belt excitingly. You will call me a wrench! I blinked behind my visor. Pardon? Wrench? Yes! Like the shiny thing on your hip. Look full. Alright. Yes, I have a harmonica with me. I glanced down before regarding him with an incredulous squint. My colleagues probably put them up to this. I am not calling you that. They deflated, shoulder sinking disappointment. Oh, fine. Not that. You would call me Atom. Adam? Atom. They gave a huffy sigh, arms akimbo. You are a tiny bit deaf. I will remember. I'm not. When did they start hiring such eccentric members? Yeah, fucking what accent is this? This is an alien. It's gotta be an alien. What kind of name is Adam anyway? At least it was better than Wrench. I don't know, I like Wrench. I shook my head. I should just turn around and leave. You didn't answer me though. Do you know where everyone else is? They shrugged, teetering back and forth on their toes. I have not seen them. They might be hiding. I have not seen them. They might be hiding. I narrowed my eyes in doubt. Why would they be hiding? By the ways, I have a very important question. It means life and death. What? What is it? What is your favorite color? Oh God, I'm gonna die. What? What is your favorite color, comrade? Jesus, relax, Christ's sake. I want answer now. Fine. It's fuck, wrong one. I'm gonna do purple. Whatever. Soothing. Blue like cosmic whale. Fade calm. I will remember. I sputtered, giving them a deadpan look. Oh God, there's the quick time events? That's a good tutorial. I'm gonna die. I sputtered, giving them a deadpan look. What the fuck are you, 12? We don't have time for this. I am 6 moons old, actually. Stop messing around! What the fuck? Look, I don't know what your deal is. We have missing crewmates and a malfunctioning ship. Now, you're not freaking out is beyond me, but how could you get your head on straight and help me figure this out? They stay silent, barely moving a muscle. My glare falters. Maybe I was a little harsh. At least until they start clapping their hands with a soft giggle. Inspired! I will help you to the ends of the galaxy, Luna! It's Mason. Mason, of course! Silly than me. I huffed. Fuck. Resisting the urge to rub my temples. Fucking rookies. Were they under the impression that was someone important? Still, the presence of one strange intuition coming was better than none at all. Where was I? Oh, right. Loading bay. Ow, my ear. What the hell? It's like start ringing. Fixing ship. 3 simple things. I cleared my throat, hiding my anxiety as my arm gestured towards the opposite hall they were headed. I need someone to watch my back while I go outside. I perked up. Outside? You would like to swim? I frowned at their strange analogy before nodding. Yeah. Sai told me there's danger. Who is Sai? I blinked. The AI of the ship? Of course. The AA. But there is no need, Luna. I already fixed. You did? I was wondering why I was wondering why they were wearing the suit. Had to be for a reason. Hang on, I thought you were cleaning. I have many talents. Skillful. That's great. I guess I don't have to then. I said, Alcohol, you're reading my priorities now that I made sure I was taken care of. Man, I don't believe this bitch. I don't believe him. You have to keep me from the furthest I could, the fastest of space. I guess I'll have to find the others. They didn't seem too happy about that. Others. Why? Why? Why is it even a question? Lift their head as if to give me a passive-aggressive look behind their dark helmet. I mean, sure, they are around. Wasting. It didn't take a genius to figure out how I'm feeling about the rest of the team. And also, I didn't figure out what they meant by fucking wasting means they're wasting like corpses. My coworkers must be giving them the newbie trip. Hate their guts, huh? They tittered quietly. Little guts. Yep, this fucker ate them. Yes. But you care, so I will follow. Hopping on their foot, like they clap their hands once more. It will be a chance to get to know you better, Luna. Mason. Mason! I sighed, turned, and start heading towards the cabins. Let's go. Let us! boy, we're gonna die. Hours. Hours of searching up and down and sideways. We looked through every possible nook and cranny of the ship I could think of. Picked clean as a carcass. Am I just going insane? Or did they really just abandon me with this nip shit? I don't understand. Where could they be? Adam filmed it with their glove, humming an incoherent tune. Gone. I inhaled shakily, digging my hand through my hair. How? They're primetime jerks, but this is too much. They could have just ditched me. How? That's the question. What ship did they have? Where'd they even go? Do not fret, Luna. You are not alone. You have me. My eyes twitched. That's not as big a reassurance as you think it is. Papa, would you like to eat? I think you should eat. Humans feel better after food, yes? What? Do you cook now too, next to cleaning and fixing? The fuck you mean by human? I do many things. I couldn't muster the strength to even sigh. You already have careful handling on the meals. They sputtered as if they just spat on their boot. Her food is inferior. Hardly crunchy. I paused for a moment, wondering if I should question them further, but decided it wasn't worth the interrogation. If you say so. So you're a janitor, mechanic, and cook. What planet did they pick you up from, huh? They flickered their wrists as if giving them a compliment. Rejoice! I am very talented! I can do anything for you, Luna. Anything except find a crewmates, apparently. They shrugged nonchalantly, not a care in the world. Their apathy was something to behold. I can relate. It wasn't my place to judge because I just couldn't help feeling suspicious. You certainly meet a lot of different types of people working this job. I straightened. They mentioned to fix the ship, didn't they? I figured asking Sai again would be worth a shot. Not to mention, for these cases, I'm gonna look through the logs. Let's head back to the main. Maybe I can figure out what happened here. They gave an enthusiastic double thumbs up, eager to follow close with a pep in their step. I was still deciding whether I preferred being alone or not. Count my blessings, I suppose. When I enter the main console, my steps lead me to the main archives. Typing my ID, I scroll through the past hours, only to feel my heart shrivel in the span of a second. Every single line of this one was corrupted. Even the backups, even the little backups of those backups. How could it... Hey! Hey, Mason! I actually remember another life or death question. Not now, Adam. My fingers working the keys digging for something. Anything. Adam fidgets and shuffles beside me. But it's very important! I mean it very much this time! I said not now! They made another indignant noise, mumbling under their breath. Grumpy, I remember. Other than that, they seemed to stay put, watching me closely as I agonized over the console. Where is everything? I yelped as the console sparks, static riddling to the screen before it turns off completely. What the f... No! I only stare at my reflection. Wisps of smoke coming from the screen. Adam leaned over my shoulder to take a peek. Do you have time for life and death question now? I closed my eyes and inhaled deeply, counting to 3 before exhaling. What is it? Adam made a happy noise, glad to have my attention again. What can you eat? I furrowed my brow. What? What do you mean? And they chuffed impatiently, tapping their foot. What can you eat? What can you eat without dying horrible, painful, choking death? Would you explode like a debug if I give you a nut? Or do you get to the fail and liquefy if I give you lactose? Were they asking if I had allergies? They mentioned something about cooking, didn't they? Yeah, fuck. Our dietary information restrictions are in our files. You didn't think to check? I could hear the pout in their voice. Leading will take time. You will tell me now. I rolled my eyes, irritation fucking clear in my face. If it gets you off my back, I can eat fucking anything. Convenient! I remembered! Oh god, I'm gonna eat a person, aren't I? I fix him with a pointed look. Aren't you worried, Adam? Where is everyone else? Shouldn't you be asking about their favorite colors and their temperatures too? At that question, their demeanor shifted. No. They stared. Huh! Huh! Okay, creepy. It was full of stone-cold malice like anything heard from them. I know they can be real insufferable at times, trust me, I know. But the fact they're missing is still a huge concern. They fold their arms, raising heat in their tone. They are mean and bossy and kick you around. The captain, she is worse. I will never forgive her. I blinked, wondering where the hell that even came from. How did you... I shake my head, my frustration rising with every second of interaction with this newbie. That doesn't matter. This entire situation is wrong. Can't you see that? I shrug. You really think I want to kill it by the Alexios? Never mind. Fucking hell. I glance over the control panel, eyes scanning over the buttons and dials before landing on that very, very enticing big red button. Walk towards it. What are you doing? Calling for help? Captain, always send out the press unless necessary, but circumstances are dire. Or at least I would if the big button didn't burst into sparks and smoke, just my flip. It didn't blow the fuck up as my fingertips went to it. Yep. Staring at that thing, 1 feet away, it just blew up. Slack-jawed, salvation's gone. What is happening? Almost like many deities living in the stars. There's gotta be one out there that's absolutely detests my entire existence. And I'm in a hum of acknowledgement. Staring at the console. Bid look. I scoff, gritting my teeth as I fumbled my tool belt. Luck has nothing to do with this. Getting on my knees, I worked the paneling underneath the main console until it popped with an incredulous kerchunk. Adam stiffened behind me. I could only freeze in horror, attempting to comprehend what I was looking at. What the fuck? Warning, from this point on, it's creepy. What was this supposed to be? Wires the rivers are riddled with pulsating, inky tentacles. No, not tentacles. Worms. They bobbed and weaved, slid through the internal circuitry, borrowing on any possible times I had to tinker with it. Ever insistent, I decided to proceed anyway, pulling out my screwdriver and poking the closest part with my tip. Just a tip. It wriggled away in response. Whatever they were, responded to stimuli. That's creepy as hell. A voice murmured something next to my ear. I do not think you should tug that, Luna. My grip tightened on my screwdriver. I don't think so either. I left it open, refusing to touch it any more than I had to, even with the gloves on. Oh, I see it there. It's in the background. Shit. But I had to be sure. One by one, I pried open the panels in each I could think of within the room. Nothing but worms. Adam fished with their hands, silent all the while. For once, they seemed to understand my growing desperation. My gut rolled in disgust as I tossed the final panel away, the metal clanging against the floor. They've taken over the ship. Missing crewmates, malfunctioning AI, unknown funky organisms crawling through the ship. Yeah, whatever the hell this is supposed to be in this situation. What the fuck is anyone supposed to do? I was never trained for this. Just like the simulations. Nope. Where I was, but the orientation was months ago. They told us not to press. All they told us to do was press the big fucking button. Pacing back and forth, I fidgeted with the flaps on my tool belt, muttering solutions under my breath. Luna? Mason? Mason. I do not see why you worry, Mason. Where do you not see the worms? I have seen them before. Safe. My steps halted the casual mission. You've seen them before. They're not dangerous. Safe. Secure. But you told me not to touch them. Just because safe does not mean touch. That's fair. I was in the room, uncomfortable tingles on the sign. Look at all that wiggling. Ugh. Without the haze of panic, I could pick up a distinct L of burnt eggs. I held back the urge to gag. Ugh, tell me you can look at this and not want to puke. They jerked as if I just assaulted their mother. Probably did. 1. That is rude. 2. I have seen worse. Fucking hell, I regret where you grew up. The worms were spilling onto the floor and disappearing through the grates of my feet. There's so many. They tuttered in disappointment. Are you also scared of 100 million ants? That sounds terrifying! You're a giant to ants, Luna. Well, scared of ants, I remember. What was that? Nothing. Worm's safe. Admittedly, they're easy going to be here, but the whole thing didn't help. Caught me a little. Nah, I would have been. I gotta be honest. They've been on this ship together for hours. I would have broken that fucking helmet open, or at least told them to take it off. A detail I seem pleased by. I have another life and death question. Oh god. No, another one of these. Is this a hobby of yours? What animal is your favorite? Don't ignore my question with another question. Animal, now! Oh my god. Beaver. Wonderful! I will remember. Can we take it easy with the icebreakers already? But understanding Luna is so fun. Stop calling me that. What is wrong with calling you Luna? I don't. Nothing's wrong. It's just not my name. So I can call you Luna. Fuck. That's not what I said. Okay. I groan, bury my face in my hands. Do what you want. Fuck it. They giggle cheerfully, hopping on one foot. I will. Why are you talking to Kermit there? Kermit is back here. I will do what I want, bitch. Can we get back to the worms? If you've seen them before, then how do you deal with them? You do not. I'm sorry, you do not? Why deal with worms if safe? Because safe does not mean let them infest the entire ship, Adam. Why not? Do I really need to explain? Actually, you don't answer that. You know what? Stop talking. I'm just going to sigh. A soft crickle emanated from the speakers. How may I assist? I slumped in relief at hearing the monotone voice once more. Meanwhile, Adam seemed to huff in annoyance, folding their arms being brushed aside. I gave them a short glance of acknowledgement before turning my attention back to the ceiling. Where is the nearest station we can dock at? The nearest station is approximately 5. Recalculating. Apologies. I cannot finalize the distance. What? I thought you were fixed. I was. It seems some of my navigation systems have been tampered with. Tampered? What do you mean tampered with? I have been tampered with. I know you said that, but in what way? A different way. If Sai had a neck, I'd be gently wriggling it. Deep breaths. Like, what changed? Altered? Affirmative. Who would? I looked over to Adam at the corner of my eye, who has been staring at me the whole time. A brief second of paranoia filled my chest before I quickly quelled it. They've been with me the past few hours. It didn't make sense. Is it the same for everything else? Does it feel like everything has been altered, I mean? Yes and no. Upon rebooting, several of my usual functions were inoperable. However, ever since my awakening, the loss of control has been increasing in increments since... Wait, what? So you're telling me you're worse off than before? Affirmative. Why didn't you tell me sooner? My initial directives were also tampered with as of 60 minutes ago. I cannot do what is not of asked of me. Loss of control? So what does that mean? Are we being hijacked? Why would anyone take over this stupid ship? Why, we would just deliver Earthian Kim Pebble and platinum grade chew toys. It is not an attack. The source is from within. Within? The worms. It must be those gross-ass worms crawling through the systems. Then what can I do? May I suggest integrating with the I have suggestion. My head slowly turns to regard the newbie with an apathetic look. Yes. Atom? Take walk with me. No. Slap. My glare turns furious at their nonsense. And what? 70 billion galaxies? Would that help? You told me things were safe. Look what they did. We're stranded. Despite practically blowing in their face, the helmet tilted. Nothing but jubilance raining off their body. Walk will help. Promise. Promise, Luna. It will help. I am not fucking... You know what? Fine. I will take a walk with you. Fine. Considering they took a step forward and yanked me towards my wrist before I could continue to work. Next thing I knew was walking down the hallway. Their excitement, their laughter echoed as they led me down the hallway. Let's shove a brisk walk more than a merry jump. The hallway took turns, not even glancing check. It seemed like they had a destination in mind. Eventually, they stopped in front of one of the airlocks, or rather, what we use as the garbage chute. Technology wasn't sophisticated on the ship. That was something I had to accept ages ago. Everything I came into proximity around this area, I worried the creaking would give a collapsed doorway, sucking me into the abyss. I kind of understood why Adam brought me here. The view through the glass separating us from the oblivion is pretty good. Breathtaking. Though, in my case, it would be literal. Considering I have to hold back a panic attack every time I catch a glimpse outside. I wasn't even terrified of space until I got this job. Some practical jokes have just left worse impressions on me. Adam doesn't seem to notice my sudden distress, even if they did decide to ignore it. It is like I remember. You've been here before? Many moons ago. One day I'd take you swimming. Swimming? Oh, right, I mean outside. Just the very thought made my palms sweat, my heart sinking within my ribcage. Did they really get a thrill from helplessly floating out in space? Really would explain why they haven't taken the suit off yet. I don't think I can. Yes, you can! It is easy! They reach for my hands, intertwining our fingers, squeezing them gently through our gloves. Free my hands! Fuck that! I burst to discomfort, gnawing my as I jerked free to free my hands. Adam reacted faster, tightening their grip and refusing to let me budge. For a small person, they were ridiculously strong, because there are a bunch of worms under that suit. They tilted their head, looking at me expectantly. Fine. I mustered the strength not to recoil, shuffling uncomfortably. I couldn't see their face, but I could somehow tell they were beaming. Wait. We're not doing this now, right? I don't want to go outside. They tilted their head into confusion. We'll not. You're not wearing a suit for swimming. Oh, thank God. Relax, then. Is there a reason I'm ever holding hands next to this dumpster? Many a reason. Can you give me, one? They hummed and thought. I remember the great happiness here. Huh? You ask for a reason. That is a reason. They tightened grip, stepping forward in my space, helmet nearly bumping my nose. I started leaning back. I can tell it to handling my own personal bubble of oxygen, Adam. They laughed again, light and airy. I will make your oxygen for you. What? I only want to see you. Are you trying to see every pore on my face, too? They tilted again, smile in their voice. You are funny. I will remember. Fucking hell. That was barely a joke. Why do you keep saying that you're keeping tabs on me? They paused briefly before realizing what I was referring to. I should know, must know, everything to make Luna happy. Nothing else is matter. I held my breath, staring at them in bewilderment. At this point, I couldn't even deny it anymore. It was clear Adam was smitten. God knows why. That's a bold confession. Not bold enough. Never enough. Okay, calm down there, fucking Romeo. Should I just ask? Nah, fuck it. Are you in love with me, boy? I want her to ask, right? Maybe the sooner I get to admit it, the sooner we can stop this ridiculous rendezvous and focus on what actually mattered. Are you in love with me? Their hands dropped as if they were hot coals. Ugh. Luna! Love? Love does not begin. They lunged for my hands again, squeezing tighter and tighter. You will not... You will let me? I was just asking, bro. What the... You will let me? That depends. On what? If they save the ship? Choked on a laugh. Save the ship, save the ship, save the ship. Easy! I am almost done cleaning. Cleaning? Lights flickered, turning to colored hue. Your favorite. At that point, I'm pulling the lever, just going out the trash and pulling this fucker with me. I blinked. The lights were meant to do that. What did you just do? They laughed cheerfully, holding their arms out as if proud. I make ship better. You will not need sand anymore. You will not need friends anymore. I will care for everything. Food, flesh, favorite things. Everything will be to your liking. My new Luna novel. What? Oh, right. You're a tiny bit deaf. I should repeat. No! Can you please explain what the fuck is going on? What did you just do to the ship? Where are my comrades? If I'm being honest, he will not like me. What? Just the words and a cold chill up my back. But that is alright. Everything is alright. This isn't alright. Nothing has ever been alright with this weirdo. Adam admired my silence for a moment before leaning closer. What does you want, Luna? Ask, and I will give everything of me. I want to. Bonk! Boom! I knew it! I burst from the ground, swung, and the sound like glass cracked on my ears and back traveled down my shoulder. Think fast, circle nuts! I don't mean to sound this strangled animalistic cry, dropping their knees and clutching at their head. Typically, space helmets couldn't crack under that kind of force. They're supposed to be bulletproof, and you'll crack your skull sooner than you'll crack your head. But the company was cheap. And for once, that was to my benefit. Luna? My eyes widened as I stumbled back. Oh boy. Women strip out of their head. Oh boy. Yep. Luna. I bang it out for good measure. Bang. Luna! I gripped the wrench tight, abandoning their crawling form to sprint down the hall towards the emergency escape pods. Walls and floors creak and groan as I ran, contorting in shape to trip me. I reached myself with a falling arm, calling her breath as I opened the hatch, escape pod coming inside and messed with limbs. Buckle in, handshake as I flick the buttons now for ignition, heart painfully hammering against my ribs. The countdown flickers on screen, the vessel shuddering to life. 10, 9, 8. I screamed, jumping on my chair. Adam clawed at the pod, its worm-like innards pulsing and bulging between the cracks of its shattered helmet. 6. Luna. 5. It giggled softly, sighing in a mock disapproval. 4. You know it is useless. 3. So smart. 2. But a tiny bit stupid. 1. Jittering to a stop. I was left staring at Adam's cracked helmet as it chitters, the sound laughing more like instantly. You can have tantrum. I do not mind. He leaned against the glass to help, thudding as it tilted his head, love-struck like characters do in cartoons. I will wait. Okay, I sat there frozen, my body wanted to even tremble from shock. I licked my lips, refusing to look away. My voice sounded distant, muffled even from my own eardrums. What the fuck are you? Adam stopped disturbing tapping. Talkative so soon? I can do anything. I can't do anything else, really. Yeah. I stared in a moment before giggling, shoulders shaking with merit. Candid. Very true. What I am. Seems to consider a moment before knocking his helmet against the glass again in excitement. Do you remember many moons ago on the ship? I was small, weak, hungry. I lacked my brain for an inkling of what it was talking about. A stowaway? Was it possible? I was ready to die. But I sneak into a metal box inside and find crunchy bits. Food? You found food? The edibles. Yes. Joy and applause. But I found food to also find problem. Your friends. Mean and hasty. Surrounded me like moon lions. If you're going to be stealing our rations, of course they're going to be pissed. The worm writhed mildly as if angry. But I was so small and weak. They want to crush me under boots and burn me alive. Every single face, stormy, all but yours. I paused for a moment, reminiscing. The worms calmed. You look at me, mercy. Star among the black holes. Their tone softened to that of reverence. Do you remember holding me in your glove? Do you remember shooting me into space? I shot you into space? That sounded like a death sentence rather than rescue. And then it clicked. 6 months ago, you got into the dog food, didn't you? I perked up, nodding eagerly. Oh boy, oh no! Marina had found a pest sticking to the supplies and eating through half the bag, so he called the whole crew to catch it while he was busy repairing the hole it crawled through. Caught in a jar, shaken, punished, just trying to survive. Kira suggested throwing it to the engine furnace. Marcus wanted to pick it apart. The others chimed in horrible, torturous methods of boredom. Pulling it out of the hair, which was easiest. I ran off and started bickering. It was no bigger than my palm. I just thought you were an endangered species! In honest, truthful way, I did. Markings matched, didn't they? It let out a chirp of amusement. You're very smart with this shit. But tiny bit stupid with the animals. It sighed longingly, tracing a circle over my face with a finger on the glass. Remember your smile? I cannot forget. I never forget. You saved my life, my Luna Nova. My kind answer, action in spades. Good at getting what you deserve. The posture is spinning loose and dropping to the ground with a muffled clug by my boots. I watch in horror as the worms start squeezing in through the holes. Swarming in as they lay on my limb arms with a dab around my collar. I can feel them crawling around my ear, brushing against my cheek, prying against my visor, more and more piling on and on. Get them off me! I unbuckle myself and kicking out the hatch open and step back in time. Bursting out of the pond, I scrambled to flick away the horrid things off my body, shuddering as the sensation still ghosted over my skin. Adam watched, hardly offended. I got impatient! I snatched my hand before I could finish righting myself with the worms. The remaining ones crawled around me, sticking to my clothes, sticking in a way that's almost affectionate. Now we have our home ready. What would you like to do, my Luna Nova? Home? Not excitedly. Home? Ship. Home ship. Right. Adam took over the brunette. Sorry, what? There's just a water break for you guys. Even now, I could hear the distant crackling and dull rumbling of all around us, transmitting gentle tremors from under my boots, like the ship itself had come alive, breathing. My voice came out meek and numb. I want to go back to Earth. Adam shook his head. No, no, no. I am better than any planet. I can make anything. Here. A cup is palmed circling on his glove. Small colored pebbles roll into my hands from the cuffs on the sleeve, growing a pile for present to me. Scrumptious! Is it offering dog food? I gently nudged its hand back down. I can't eat that. It gasped in shock, an intense pound on his face. Why not? You can eat anything, yes? You told me so. That doesn't include dog food! It sighed and tooted. The worms wriggled about in noise. Fine, fine. I learned from cook what to cook. I paused. Are you talking about Kira? I take her brain recipe. Plentiful. What is that even? No, I don't want to know. Somewhere in my confusion, Adam had hidden the kibble away. Suspiciously muffled crunchy noises coming from within its chest. I eyed it warily. What were those even made of? If I had a mouth, it would give me a cheeky grin. Me! My body shuddered, screaming down in this gaping head wound. The smell of burnt ends was more intense. I don't want to eat worms. It laughed nonchalant. It will not taste like worms. Did not even look like worms. Remember? I can also make you some beaver. I do not know what beaver is, but Luna can show me. Would you like? Good old beaver. Ah, no. I know beaver tail is a good scrumptious dish, but that's a... Ow, fuck. I ignored the nauseating collecting in the back of my throat at the thought. That's fine. I pointed to his helmet. Doesn't that hurt? He made a confused noise before realizing I was staring at. It is like fresh air. Fresh air. That really is just worms. You're not mad, are you? You said you returned the favor, so... It shook its head quickly. I will never, ever... You can do the hitting again if it's what you want. What? No, what? Don't be crazy. I'm gonna be honest here, if it was me, I would, when that door opened, wham, 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 wham. I stared as, moved my glove. Oh, okay. Gently, already nicking me from the jagged edges, smooth through my palm. Okay, guys, this game has a lot more to it. And I'm gonna be blunt here. Oh boy, this is a fucking weird game. Even though one straight from my thumb, the texture cold and foreign and strange, I could feel the happy hum. We will sing and dance and fall in love, Luna. I cleared my throat awkwardly, resist the urge to tug my hand free. I think you're being a little too optimistic for your own good, Adam. I shared happily the sound of his chosen name on my lips. Optimist. Of course I am. You have no choice but to like me. It holds tight around my wrist, but you never think of escaping. I will hunt you. I will find you and will start all over again. I gulped. What if I asked nicely? No. Stay. No buts. I swallowed thickly, not daring to move a muscle, protest another word. I didn't think I'd be harsh about a giant parasitic worm extraterrestrial thing. This whole situation was so bizarre, I expect to wake up under red lights again. If I tried hard enough. This is crazy. I tuttered in satisfaction. What is the saying of that melody? No es lo locada olvidada es la amor. I don't know Spanish. That was horrible. Since when do you speak? You must used to be my angel, Mason. Lights over my head, damn reflect my look of dread on my face. Now I can be yours. And we dance in synchronized rotation. Thank you for playing. Alright, I'm just gonna go through real quick all the other choices that we could possibly have. Having the ship. Bastion. Very fiery, and then skip. Vegetarian. Vegan. Wonder, I remember. Bird. Alright, let's stay with sight this time. No, it won't. Well, it keeps staring home, reflecting the glowing image. Do you hate me? No. Please, please, please! I don't! Don't hate you, Adam. But there's a time and place for messing around. This isn't the time. I slapped a hard something on the shoulder. This was showing camaraderie. Do you understand? Adam? Buddy? Will you take things just a little more seriously? For me? They nod slowly before her head slowly makes my own wrist spine until they're bouncing on the toes with barely constrained energy. Yes, 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 my Luna. Blah, blah, blah. You don't need sight. You have me. Just the eye well, 3 heads are better than 2, unless you don't count Silva, in which case, no response. Warning, warning, warning. Sai, what's going on? Stop talking to that stupid voice. I am right here. Oh. I feel like I shouldn't skip so much, but I'm going to end it here. This game is free on itch.io. Check it out. This is Astronaut. This is Alexios of Earth. Signing off.